Hi, this is John Koon. I'm Communications Director for Vidalia City School System, and this is Vidalia City School News. A behind-the-scenes look at what's happening in the Vidalia City School System. Today, my guest is Vidalia High School Athletic Director and Head Boys Basketball Coach, Dalley. Appreciate you joining me today. Obviously, a strange situation that we're all going through. Athletic-wise, what's been the impact that you have seen for these students and not only the students but also the coaches?
Well, it's been extremely tough. I mean, it's, they've poured their hearts into preparing and getting ready and trying to have a finality to their season, and all of a sudden it's kind of cut short. So it kind of just put a damper on what they had been trying to do. But I have seen them come together and figure out a way. That's kind of what it is. We're doing this on the fly, so everybody's adapting, adjusting, and obviously it was a dagger. It hurt, and it'll hurt for a while because I think we had some teams set up to make some serious runs at some titles. So from that standpoint, that's the tough part about it. But like I've said before, it's more than that. I think they've come together, and I've seen different groups and chats and getting together on the social media and trying to figure out ways to communicate.
As athletic director, what kind of challenges is presented for you?
It's been pretty unbelievable. It really has. It's because it's something that's unprecedented. So I've spent a lot of time talking to other ADs and ADs that have been doing this a whole lot longer than I've even thought about doing, and they're as perplexed as I am about things that are how they're unfolding and what to do next and what's your next move. And all we can do right now is really encourage and try to stay positive. It's easy to be positive when things are going great and you're winning, and now is if you can be positive in times like this and be encouraging, that's what it's all about. And you're just trying to find a way to to make the next step, and here's what we're going to do, and here's our plan, and we've made a plan and had to change the plan, and it's ongoing, and it's hard to really put into perspective on how things are going to all play out until this thing's kind of under control.
Obviously, there's hope for getting back to normal sometime midsummer or somewhere around there. That's what we're all hoping and praying for right now. With that in mind, what kind of challenges does it present you trying to get ready for next year, not only as an athletic director, but as a basketball coach, because now you've lost May and June with your players?
Well, from a basketball standpoint, we've lost critical time as far as 4-on-1s. We do so much teaching in the spring with our kids and just on an individual basis. So that's really hurt. Summer is all of our team month because from basketball, we expect our football to play into right before the start of the season. So we always do. June is so important because we plan and we put in our stuff. We put in all of our schemes and things like that. So we'll be behind, but everybody is. So it's not like somebody has an advantage over you. From an athletic standpoint, director standpoint, you look at. You're just trying to understand that when they say go, it's going to be like mass hysteria from the coaches. They're going to want to put their hands on their kids and, hey, let's go do this, go do this. So we've got to go about it in a diplomatic manner and try to understand where everybody's coming from and schedule those things out. Our kids are going to be pulled in so many different directions for whenever they do say go. So we'll have to manage that a little bit better. But it's something I think our coaches will jump on and be fine with. We're hoping that fall gets underway on time and everybody's ready to go when fall gets here. So this from the athletic director standpoint, we're just hoping that it doesn't affect the beginning of school and the transition into fall sports.
There is one thing that always looms, and it probably shouldn't be talked about now, but it's a reality, and that's money. Small programs such as ours depend on a lot of fundraising, and with this going on, it's obviously put us behind the 8 ball. Plans being made to try to get that going once things get back to normal, whatever that may be.
Well, luckily for us that this came at a time when most of our gate money had been generated through the fall sports and the winter sports, and so we were in pretty good shape. Now it does affect fundraising and camps and things like that programs depend on. So we're looking at when it's when we're finally allowed to go back, scheduling camps and those type of fundraisers we'll have to juggle that a little bit in the calendar and still try to get everybody on the same page. And because our camps are huge, and they're back from basketball and cheer camps and baseball camps, and those kids that we want involved in those programs want to be involved, and those are helps to subsidize our budgets. But it'll be just a juggling effect, and when we can really get those into place, and again, that's why we hope fall begins on time. I think money-wise, I think everybody is going to be okay, but it's dependent on the fall and fall getting started on time.
You are not only an athletic director, a teacher, and a coach, but you're also a parent of a student athlete. How has this affected Ty?
It's been tough. It really has. His thoughts of the seniors and what they've had to go through, and he can't. What if that was my senior year and things like that. So he's been pretty compassionate toward those kids and what they've had to go through. And I've seen another side of him. I mean, he's finding ways to be innovative and work out and get things done. So from a parent standpoint, I'm glad he's had to see that and how quickly things can be taken away. And don't ever take anything for granted. That you'll be able to play again tomorrow. You'll have your next practice and things like that because like these spring sports, it was kind of shut down on the spot, and they didn't get a chance to there were no do-overs. So. And that's a lesson that I think he's picked out of this is don't ever take anything for granted.
As we close, what is a message that you want to get to the student athletes that may be out there watching now?
Well, just stay positive, just keep training, have yourself prepared. The worst thing we can do is not be prepared for when we do get to come back because everybody's going to be behind the 8 ball and really press for time depending on the schedule that's laid out in front of us. So I just encourage you there's ways you can get better at different things, physically, mentally, challenge yourself to find ways to do that. I know from a basketball standpoint, we're sending out workouts to do daily, both physical training and basketball-wise, and so those guys are getting those things in front of them. Now, whether they're putting it into practice is a different story, but I just encourage all those athletes just to continue to try to get yourself better and get yourself and stay ready.